Hey everybody, this is Sparsh, Pure Rhythm, and I'm gonna do my first cover at the studio. This is Eminem's famous song, I'm Not Afraid. I'd love to thank my parents, Batik Bhai, for recording, and this goes out to my biggest idol ever, Eminem. This is for you, I hope you love it, everyone. Here we go. I'm not afraid to take a stand. Everybody, come take my hand. Walk this road together through the storm, whatever weather, cold and warm. Just letting you know that you're not alone. Holler if you feel like you've been down the same road. Yeah, it's been a ride. I guess I had to go to that place to get to this one. Now some of you must still be in that place. If you're trying to get out, just follow me. I'll get you there. You could try and read my lyrics off of this paper before then, but you won't take this thing out these words before Sam. Cause ain't no way I'ma let you stop me from causing me. I'm gonna say I'ma do something, I'll do it. I don't give a glance what you think. I'm doing this for me. Forget the world, be the beans. This gassed up, everything's stopping me. I'ma be what I set out to be, without a doubt, undoubtedly. And all those who look down on me, I'm tearing down your balconies. No chance to bust, or try to ask him why, how can he? From infinite down to the last, we left side, but me still fretting. Whether he's on salary, paid hourly, until he bows out or he freaks his balls out of him. Whichever comes first, for better or worse. He's married to the game, like a present for Christmas, but his gift is a curse. Forget the earth, he's got the urge to pull himself from the dirt and curse the whole universe. I'm not afraid to take a stand. Everybody, come take my hand. Walk this road together through the storm, whatever weather, cold or warm. Just letting you know that you're not alone. Holler if you feel like you've been okay, quit playing with this is.
Good morning, guys. When I look at my life and when I think and feel how I am right now, the path of mind wealth that I'm on, just how happy, how free, how peaceful I feel right now, I want everybody in the world to feel the happiness I feel right now within me. But I always think, how on earth is it possible that I got to this point when I look at the challenges and struggles I faced in my life? And I know they're nothing compared to some of the ones you might be going through or other people have gone through. But the key is this: embrace the struggle. That's the key. Whatever challenge you're going through, whatever stress, whatever anxiety, understand that there's a reason it's going after you. Don't fight it. Let it come in. Don't be destroyed by it. Fight it, but know that it's there, but seeking you because you are a miracle. You are 1 in 400 trillion. It wants you because it's going to help improve you. Have a great day, everybody.
Welcome to the Billionaire Mindset, your 30-day journey to thinking like a billionaire. Now you can just watch this video, or if you want to sign up for the entire series for free and get the bonus PDF companion calendar, check the link in the description below. Today is day 13, and we're going to learn the abilities that billionaires have. Enjoy.
Somebody once said that the chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. I had been terrified of public speaking. I couldn't do it. I'd throw up. And I knew if I didn't cure it then, I'd never cure it. And so I saw an ad in the paper for the Dale Carnegie course, which worked on developing your ability to speak in public. And I went down there.
Be sincere. A good smile has the same effect as a puppy's tail. When a puppy wags...
They made us do all these crazy things to get out of ourselves, and so we stood on tables and did all kinds of things. If I hadn't have done that, my whole life would have been different. So in my office, you will not see the degree I got from the University of Nebraska. You'll not see the master's degree I got from Columbia University, but you'll see the little award certificate I got from the Dale Carnegie course.
First of all, you don't need college to learn stuff, okay? Everything is available basically for free. You can learn anything you want for free. It is not a question of learning. There is a value that colleges have, which is like, seeing whether can somebody work hard at something, including a bunch of sort of annoying homework assignments, and still do their homework assignments, and kind of soldier through and get it done. That's like the main value of college. And then also, if you probably want to hang around with a bunch of people your own age for a while instead of going right into the workforce. So I think colleges are basically for fun and to prove you can do your chores, but they're not for learning.
You need people who, and this is very tricky, you need people who are experts in a certain domain area, because the world is so complex today, it's really hard to invent something if you're not an expert, if you don't have the underlying tools at your disposal and know what's going on. You can't invent something in neurosurgery without knowing something about neurosurgery. It's just going to be very difficult because we're very advanced. And that's true in every field of endeavor. But to really be an inventor, you have to combine that expertise with the beginner's mind. You have to have a certain childlike ability to not be trapped by your expertise. And that fresh look, that beginner's mind, once you're an expert, is unbelievably hard to maintain. But great inventors are always looking. They have a certain divine discontent, and they may have seen something 1,000 times, and still it occurs to them that thing, even though they're accustomed to it, could be improved. And that's, you have to look for people like that. And I also think cultures support that. You can't, even if you're that kind of person, if you're in a culture that doesn't support failure, willingness to fail is critical for invention, willingness to be misunderstood for long periods of time. Most inventions don't really work that well in the beginning. They're clumsy, they're little toddlers, they're always falling and tripping. And so you have to have a culture in your organization that supports this kind of stumbling and wandering. Just because you're wandering doesn't mean you're lost. And that's a really important thing to keep in mind when you're trying to invent.
We are in this really huge secular transition away from degrees towards skills. It no longer matters where you went to school, what you did. Don't tell me you have an MBA. It's irrelevant. It's useless. Who gives a shit? Learn to code, and you'll be employed for the rest of your life. I lost a kid, 24-year-old kid, to a big company in Cupertino, where he got paid $175 grand a year and $600,000 guaranteed over 4 years in RSUs. And he's not done anything ever. Okay? So all of you should teach your kids how to code. All of you. You should learn how to code. But my point is, it's about skills now. And so that's another reallocation of trillions of dollars.
In life, you want to be your own quarterback. See the playing field. Many people like to get myopically tied into one thing, and they have a hard time stepping back. Being CEO of Microsoft is this amazing, wonderful opportunity. Turns out everybody in the world wants to tell you what to do. And they'll educate you. You want to learn about any field of technology? as long as you don't act like a know-it-all, somebody will educate you. And you have a unique ability to see broadly across the technology field. Right now, I'm spending a lot of my time studying government and the economy. Turns out the number of places you can actually read about the totality of government in the United States is almost zero. What is the total spend in government in this country, and what does it get spent on? There's no government report on that topic. The best site happens to come from some random blogger who I met, who I think is great, by the way, but I found him through our Bing search engine, not surprisingly. But that's my only plug for today. I'm still a shareholder. But seeing the field.
I think the quality that has helped me in lots of things is a kind of measurement scientific framework where I go in and say, did anybody handle this well? What are the very best practices? Do we have numbers on that? And let's get everybody measuring what they're doing, and so they can strive to match what the best achievement is. For us, often that's something like getting the vaccines out to all the children. Some very poor countries do that extremely well because they get down to that local level and measure the activity. They make sure the inventory's there, they make sure the workers are showing up. So for me, I always look at how can we do better measurement and use that to drive the very best practices.
Many of you, as I have been, as I am, are where you are in your life based upon what you believe. And it's not just what you think you believe on the surface, it's also your shadow beliefs that are holding you back from moving into the life that you believe you deserve. What I know is if you're not looking at the shadows, if you're not looking at what is subconsciously running through the tape in your mind, telling yourself you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, you're not smart enough, you're not enough, which is a tape that's playing for a lot of people. If you're not conscious of that, then you end up acting out of that belief system and not out of what you know to be the truest or want to be the truest for yourself. But you don't become what you want, because so much of wanting is about living in the space of what you don't have. That's why Jim Carrey's story is so powerful, because he started to act as though he already had it. He would go up to Mulholland Drive, he would drive away thinking, I already have those things, I just haven't accessed them as yet. I believe those things are going to come to me and I'm going to act like they are, so I'm going to move forward in my life in order to draw that to myself in such a way that my actions are in alignment with what I say I believe. So if you start to think about that, really, why are you where you are in your life? The choices that you have made have been because of what you believe to be true for yourself.
What is it about selling that you actually enjoyed that you think most people don't enjoy selling? So what is it about selling that you actually enjoy?
Well, okay, this is the first thing I'm going to say. If you don't like selling, you should really take the time for yourself to practice it and learn it, because all of life is sales. I mean, whether you're an accountant, whether you're a stay-at-home mother and you're trying to sell your kids on why they need to go to bed at a certain time or they need to do something that you need them to do. In an interview, you have to sell yourself. I mean, and so I think it's really important to be able to do that. And hardcore door-to-door sales was incredible groundwork and laid the foundation for me to be able to do Spanx, because when I started Spanx, the first 2 years that I was cold calling all the manufacturers in North Carolina, I only heard one word. No.
Yeah.
I mean, no, no, no. And because I had training and just knew I'm going to keep going till I get that yes, that's the reason that I was able to get through that stage.
I focus on things that are AI driven, artificial intelligence driven, whether it's machine learning, deep learning neural networks, medical applications. But within AI is a buzzword that everybody's using right now. You know, and to that point, you know, we as old guys, we go back and it's like 1995, we talk about the internet. And I would say to people back in 1995, look, if you don't understand the internet, you're not going to be able to do business. And now that's just blocking and tackling, it seems obvious. Back then it wasn't. right? I could even take you further back to my first company. What we did was a company called Micro Solutions, and we did local area networks and wide area networks. And I used to walk into companies and say, you're going to have to hook these PCs together at some point. That'll make you more productive, more effective, give you a competitive advantage. And people were like, nah, I'll just carry this floppy from this PC to that PC. Yeah, okay. But today, we're at the same type of inflection point with artificial intelligence. You don't have to be an expert and be able to put together your own neural network. You don't have to know what weights and biases are. But you have to have more than just a cursory understanding. Just like you have to know the difference between, different types of websites, and you have to understand e-commerce if you're in e-commerce. You have to have a cursory understanding of how apps work. You're going to have at least, if not more, cursory understanding of artificial intelligence, because it will change everything we do. And if the internet was 10x in terms of change to business, artificial intelligence will be 100x or more. So there's going to be a disruption and change in the types of jobs. That's going to impact your customers. That's going to impact your businesses. That's going to impact the future of business. And so I don't want to be, I want to be as clear and as forceful as I possibly can, because as fellow entrepreneurs, we always have to try to look for an edge. We always have to understand how our industry is changing. We always have to understand not only how we differentiate ourselves in our companies, but I always want to know who can kick my ass, right? In all my businesses, who can kick my ass, and can I kick my own ass first? Because if you can disrupt yourself first, the person who could otherwise do it is not going to do it, and you can compete and be successful. So pay attention to AI. It's important. I mean, look, if you go to my house, right next to my bed, there's a book, Machine Learning for Dummies. If you go into my bathroom, there's deep neural networks for dummies, right? If you go in, there's a something for dummies in every room of my house, It can go two ways, I know, but I'm just telling you, put the time. I mean, I've taken, I can't even tell you how many hours now I spend every week, if not daily, working. Like, I'll go onto Amazon, AWS, and go through their machine learning tutorials. Don't think to yourself, I'm not technical enough, or I'm not going to get this, or I don't get into this, or it's too much. Try it. Get as far as you can, because it's like doing a basic website and a little bit of HTML. Just having done that, you feel smarter and you feel a little bit more confident about this. I don't want to be an alarmist, but I'm trying to scare the hell out of you because it's important.
In the world of entrepreneurship, the big skills are kind of programming skills and people skills. Like, those are the big two. And I think people skills tend to be highly underestimated in terms of kind of just ability to run a company and so forth. And what I mean by people skills is the ability to understand other people's motivation and other people's motivations who you're talking to, and then who you're also not talking to, and how they're going to think about something and where they're coming from, and relate to that in a way that gets you to the right conclusion about how you build an organization or build a company or make a deal or any of these kinds of things is incredibly valuable. And that's what I would say most of the kind of good entrepreneurs end up lacking, more than the technical skills that we see now. Like, being like a boss level engineer, like, that's extremely valuable. I'm not discounting that, but that's really the other big skill that you can learn in school.
What are your core values personally and professionally?
Core values are, I would say it's the golden rule: do unto others as you would have others do unto you. That's the basis for most religions, but they get sometimes carried away in rites and rituals. But that's the core value: do unto others as you'd have others do unto you. And then it's the feeling of knowing that success unshared is definitely failure. In other words, when you make it, it's not really just about yourself making it. Hey, if you make it, you know you made it. But along the way, one of the great lessons to learn is it's not all about you. It's about your ability to be of service to this planet while you're here. And by saying, me, look what I did, this is me, hey, here's my building, my name's on it, I did this, you didn't. By doing something like that, it kind of takes away from how genuine you are. And because people don't like to just listen to people talk about themselves, how great they are, they want to know incorporate it to make them successful also, or do something a little different. And I think that's very, very important.
You gotta get some skills. You want to get rich?
Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, breathing in through our noses and out through our mouths. Feeling the power of you controlling your breathing. Knowing, remembering, it's the same power we use to control our thinking. Now use that power. Use your determination to see in your mind today your best effort in all the exercises, stretches, movements we do here together. See it in your mind right now. See yourself doing the best you can, giving the best effort you've ever done for anything. Maybe you want to visualize the last time we did these exercises and stretches together. Go there and think right now about what you could do better or differently this time. It's the same process we use to grow our minds and grow the strength and health of our bodies and energy. All right, good morning, determination. How's everyone today? Another day in the gym of life. Wherever you are, if you're at home, outdoors, indoors, let's go. Let's make this the best gym period ever. Here.
Start off with the warm-up, just nice and easy, get our legs going. Almost like a march. Well, it is a march. Get some space going forward and back, just getting the blood going to our legs. Nice, easy little steps, little small steps, and rotate our shoulders. Rotating the other direction. So once again, a lot of core, a lot of legs today. So we're just going to go with the shuffle, nice and easy. Feet a little bit more than shoulder width apart. We're just shuffling one side, a few steps, depending on how much space you have. The other side. Get some leg swings, nice and easy. Sure, get both sides. Let's spin it up, go out and smash it, like oh my god, jump out that sofa, let's kick it. This next one, we're just going to walk out and stretch our hamstrings. Look at her dancing, just take it off, let's make it down. And we'll shake it out. Hopefully you're nice and warmed up. And we'll get going. Is the music okay? Anybody want to give me thumbs up? Music's alright? Perfect. Might not like the songs, my apology, but I love it. You can hear that's good. So I'll start the timer. Like I said, we'll go for 30 seconds. Give a 15-second break if you need a break at any time. Just increase your break time. Have your water bottle ready because we're going to go 30 straight exercises. Awesome. And we'll start in 10 seconds. We're starting off with the squat jumps. Let's live it up, let's live it up. I got my money, hey. Let's spin it up, go out and smash it. Like oh my god, jump out that sofa. Come on, let's kick it. Key thing is make sure you're looking straight ahead, shoulders stay back. Look at it, Awesome. We're down with the bird dog. You can pick which leg and arm you want to go first. So it's opposite. If I go with left hand, it's right leg. I'll tell you at the 15-second mark if you want to switch. Key on this is you want your arm that's on the ground, shoulder over your wrist. You can switch it up. We're up for lunges. Now you can alternate legs. You can go right leg, left leg, second set, and switch, whatever you'd like to do. You control how far back you want to go with lunges. Once again, chin is up, and you're looking straight ahead. You control how far down you want to go. You just want to keep that forward. Lots more down for planks. You can go from your knees and from your extended arms, from your toes, on your elbows. You want to challenge, you're coming up, and all you're doing on this one is you're doing touches. I'm touching my opposite shoulder each time. Really try to brace your stomach. As if someone's going to punch you in the stomach, you're bracing it. Awesome. This time we're up, we're doing the dot drill. Key is just remember, as if you got that, you rolled the dice, so number 5 has come up. You're on the bottom, 2, 1 in the middle, 2 on top, feet are together. So we're going middle, top right, top left, middle, bottom left, bottom right. You control how far you want to jump and how quick you want to jump. Awesome. We're back on the ground doing crunch with the punch. Feet are flat. And we're coming up and punching towards our side. Just want to do this in a controlled manner. Speed isn't important, form is. You want to hold on to a dumbbell? Great opportunity to hold on to a dumbbell. You want to really twist, get your obliques going on this. Staying on the ground, grab push-ups, or you can use your wall. Remember, it can be from your knees. Key thing is, you don't want those elbows back here. You want the elbows inside. We want to work on our chest and our triceps. So you control, or you can go from 3 points, whichever is comfortable. Want to do a combo? You can do a combo. Key thing is, just want to go for the 30 seconds if you can. The form is critical. Back up, we're doing the one-legged deadlifts. Remember, pretend that you're holding onto that broomstick. Back is straight, and you're going all the way down. Instead of being on 2 legs though, we're going to be on 1 leg. Really trying to feel that in your quad and in your hamstrings. Tough to balance. The key thing, you want that back as straight as possible. If it's tough on one leg, switch it up. Looks like the easiest exercise, but probably the toughest one of the day. At least the toughest one for me. This time we're going to be on the ground, palms against your mat. And we're just going to draw circles with our legs. You control how big the circles are and how fast you want them to go. Whatever direction you want, clockwise, counter, whatever you're comfortable with. Feel it in your lower back. You can pull one leg down and do one leg at a time. The last of our 10 meter jumps. Remember, we're just going to start off and we're jumping to one side, holding it, jumping back, holding it. You control how far you want to jump. So here we're working explosiveness, really getting our legs going. But then our core activates, we really got to balance. Awesome. Through once, 2 more sets. Some water if you like. Or back to squat jumps. Hopefully you got some space wherever you're working out. Given my height and my vertical, jumping in the basement isn't an issue with this low ceiling. Extra back to bird dog. Remember, you control whether you want to switch at halfway point or if you want to keep it. I'll let you know 1:15 we're at the 15-second mark. You want that shoulder over that wrist. You want to be as straight as possible. Once again, bracing your abs. Switch. Back up for lunges. Good job, everybody. There you go. The key thing is keeping those shoulders and chin back, staring straight ahead.
Excuse me, I'm not in my best.
Awesome. Next one, we're back down doing plank. If you like to incorporate the shoulder taps, you can do that as well. You go from your knees or your toes, whatever you feel comfortable with. Once again, you want those shoulders and the wrists to be aligned.
Excuse me, I'm not at my best. I am gone for a week. Coming from
back up to the dot drill. Feet stand together. We're starting on the bottom right of that number 5 on the diet. middle, top right, top left, middle, bottom left, bottom right. Hey, we're 15 out of 30. Back down for crunch with the punch. We're trying to rotate as best you can. Almost getting those shoulders perpendicular. 10 seconds. Stay on the ground or against the wall for push-ups. Fifteen seconds. Remember, it's all about form. Next, we're doing the one-legged deadlifts. Great job, everybody. Go on, Maylee. Sheeta, Stephanie, keep going. Well done, Marcy. Here we go. We're a little bit more than halfway down. We're doing that one-legged deadlift. Bend that knee. Make sure that knee is slightly bent. And we're just having our arms trail our leg all the way down. You don't have to touch the floor. I can't touch the floor, but you'll definitely feel it on your hamstring. Get tired on one leg, switch up at any time. Awesome. Next, we're at ab circles. Make sure you catch your breath. You need a rest. Make sure you put your feet back on the floor, or you can go one leg at a time. Skater jumps. Perfect timing with Prince going. Remember, make sure you hold that before you jump back. You control how far you want to jump. And today we're working a lot of big muscles with our quads and our hams. So we should be burning calories, or if you got one of the watches, they'll definitely show you burning calories for a while. Awesome. Have a quick drink if you need a quick drink. Good job, bro. Here we go. Back to squat jumps. Remember, you're looking straight ahead. You want to go right up to your toes, you can go right up to your toes. But we're absorbing that jump, so a little bit of plyometrics here. Back down for bird dog. One of the reasons why I selected this one, and you saw we had a lot of lower back last week as well. We're sitting in a chair on our computer. Really got to hit these muscles and elongate them or stretch them out. Get some blood going. Switch it up. Back up for lunges. Great job, team. Keep going. Going straight back. If you want to throw in a curtsy lunge, you can throw in a curtsy lunge. Just going to the side. Plank, like I said, you can do shoulder taps, whatever you feel comfortable with, from your knees or from your toes. Try not to get your hips to waddle from side to side. Try to hold yourself nice and steady. It's tougher in that third set, I know. Awesome. Back up for the Dutch row. On the bottom right of that, number 5. Middle, top right, top left, middle, bottom left, bottom right. Or you control how far you want. Just want to keep those feet together. Working our legs, explosiveness, but we also got our core going because we're really got to brace to do this exercise. 5 more to go. Crunch with the punch. Really rotate those shoulders. And breathe out as you're coming up. 10 seconds to go. Awesome. You're staying down for push-ups. Remember, it's all about form here. If you want to go from 3 points, go from 3 points. Just want to keep that back nice and straight. Keep your elbows going back. Try to take some pressure off your wrists. Five seconds. Awesome. One-legged deadlifts. You feel your hamstrings or your quads tomorrow morning? Hope you're not swearing my name. Okay. One leg, you pick which leg, but you're going down and coming right back up. Make sure the leg that's steady, or trying to be steady, is bent. It's not fully straight. You're switching now. Now's the time. 15 seconds. Awesome. Ab circles, the 2 exercises together. You make the circles as big or as small as you like. If you're feeling it in your lower back, you want to take a rest, make sure you rest it up, or you can put one leg on the ground and go with one leg. Almost there. And our last exercise, skater jumps. The 29 out of 30, here we go. Balance is tougher as we keep going. Remember, you want to be looking straight ahead. Once you look down, you get in trouble. Ten seconds. Awesome. Grab a drink. Well done. And do a quick cool down if you have some time. Nice and easy. Stretch out your shoulder. Right hand over your left wrist.
I am one of those melodramatic fools.
And switch.
To the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps.
Stretch out our hamstrings. All we're going to do is keep our back straight and just try to go down as far as we can. Let gravity do the work. You don't need to touch your toes. Keep that back straight so you can feel it, knees slightly bent. And just hold on to that. Awesome. Shake that out. If you need to hold on to something, we're just going to stretch our quad. And switch it up. Awesome. Hey, thank you very much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the workout. Once again, we got Zumba tomorrow morning, and then all next week. We'll go through it again. Have any questions? I'll stay on, but have yourselves a great evening, and thanks for joining me.
And here we are again. Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Deep breaths in through our noses and out through our mouths. The way we began. The way it all begins, always. Always with our thoughts. Our powerful minds. Which are always subject to our control. No matter how hard it's been to control them. We know the truth, don't we? We saw it today in our effort. We see it every day in life, in the gym of life. We know that we have the power to determine what thoughts we will act upon, and therefore we also have that power to determine what feelings we will allow to flow out and through us. Because our feelings are ultimately connected to our thinking. And if we control our breath with our thoughts, we can always control our thoughts and therefore our feelings. To learn and to grow and to be mind healthy and mind wealthy, peaceful, kind, loving, free and successful in whatever we do, wherever we are, no matter what. That's why we are already, whether we know it or not, determined nation. A people, a nation that always has the power to determine, to think, and to be positively, undoubtedly, unwaveringly loving, no matter what. Great job today, everyone. I love
My name is Santiago Gonzalez. I'm 14 and I love to program.
Santiago is crazy about computers.
I'm fluent in about a dozen different programming languages. Thousands of people have downloaded my apps for the Mac, iPhone, and iPad.
From 6th grade, he jumped to a full-time college student.
I will be 16 when I graduate college and 17 when I finish my master's. I really enjoy learning. To me, I find it as essential as eating. Either you die or you're pretty miserable without learning. I generally wake up at 5:30. Then I program for about an hour. Eat breakfast.
Oh, here's some tortillas, Santi.
Yeah. I go to school. Bye. Right now, I'm a junior at the Colorado School of Mines. I'm majoring in computer science.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good.
I go to see Professor Bakos pretty often to look at my code.
I often have this disease, which I call long line-itis.
Okay, well, we may be able to do that.
Yeah, so that removes the instance, which you don't even need. I didn't even think of that. You know, the motivation that we talked about in class about writing beautiful code? Is it enough just to write that slew of code such that the program just works? Or is the code also the artistic medium?
Beautiful code is short and concise, so if you were to give that code to another programmer, they would say, oh, that's well-written code. It's much like if you're writing a poem. Right now here, this is Objective-C. It's what iPhone, iPad, and Mac use for programming. I've created about 15 apps for both the Mac, iPhone, and iPad. Sometimes when I go to sleep, I'm stuck with an annoying bug that I can't fix. And in my dreams, I see myself programming. And when I wake up, I have figured out the solution.
Santiago is not just a machine that excels at absorbing information and applying that information. He actually is transforming that information and empowering himself to create those things that he wants to create.
One of the main reasons I started developing apps was to help people achieve something they wanted to do, such as decorate a Christmas tree or maybe play checkers with a very nice user interface.
Santiago is very old in some ways and very young in others. Sometimes you forget that you're talking to a 14-year-old, but sometimes he seems to be even younger than that. He couldn't care less about what he's wearing or girls.
No, I'm not interested in having a girlfriend at all. I find that it's a tremendous waste of time.
Tell me how you really feel.
No, that is how I really feel.
He's very sure of himself.
He has been different to other kids since he's little.
Well, I really like to crochet. This is one of the piggies from Angry Birds.
He has come to accept that difference and embrace it.
Yes, I do definitely consider myself a nerd.
But it has not always been this good.
When we first tested Santiago, he scored in the 99.99%.
We would explain something as if we were explaining it to an adult, and he would understand.
His first interest was rocks and minerals.
Rocks and minerals.
But he wanted to learn about rocks and minerals from adult books.
At that point, he was in first grade. You could tell that his mind was somewhere else.
He would come back from elementary school and he would be miserable because he wasn't being challenged.
I had teachers who didn't really quite get me. It was just a very boring and sort of painful experience.
For exceptionally gifted students like Santiago, these students are actually bored to tears, literally, the fact that they're being given this material that doesn't challenge them. It's as if you and I sat down and we said our ABCs for about 2 hours.
In regular school, I found it was sort of ridiculous to be a nerd. The other kids, they did tease me and kind of mock me quite a bit.
We knew that he needed somewhere else.
God knows what would have happened if we didn't guide him the right way. It could have been a disaster.
And then we found Colorado School of Mines.
Colorado School of Mines is actually a very reputable engineering school here in the Front Range and actually throughout the world.
They were willing to take a chance. And Santiago proved that he could do it. So now he can really be himself and relate with the students.
This is really cool. Just seeing from not knowing at all, it's magic.
We have all sorts of, let's call them weird students here at Mines, and so I think that most people on this campus really embrace that. It's kind of our strength.
I mean, we're all kind of nerds here, so we can interact pretty easily.
They're at Mines to learn. They're not goofing off and interrupting all the time, and I don't really think I'd ever want to have to interact with other kids my own age. So these sensors are a bit larger than the other ones.
Okay.
Currently this semester, I'm a research assistant for a professor at Mines.
I'm working to improve building energy efficiency. Santiago is developing the sensor network that we're going to be putting up in the building.
Yeah, I've been working on the algorithm to see what kind of filter would be the best for this without having any signal loss. Since we can't get any code on the sunspots, it's difficult.
We'll solve that. I don't know what it is right now, but we'll figure that one out.
You want to sketch out what the code would look like?
Sure.
I was really needing someone to develop that kind of project, and Santiago was a perfect fit.
We put the signal in a low pass filter.
He loves being in college and learning at the pace that he needs to be learning at.
Right now, there are quite a few things in my different classes that are really, really interesting. For example, elements of computing systems.
Yes, Santiago?
So is this what other architectures like x86 and ARM use?
The basic principle certainly will be the same.
It's really exciting to see how much he enjoys learning about different things. And it's contagious as well.
So there are variations
There are
of
different,
mix?
yes,
Oh,
there are.
I
there
see.
are.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
If I had that drive when I was in college, that would have been fabulous. So I'm learning so much from my child now. That's pretty wonderful.
Life for Santiago may be somewhat of a marathon that he's already running through, and I hope that he keeps the pace.
After I finish my master's, I'm thinking about getting a PhD in computer science at Stanford. And my ultimate goal is to work at Apple.
It's a golden age of computers. He lives in the right time, I think. He's a Renaissance man.
When an artist paints a painting and he finishes, he says, "Oh wow, that's a very nice painting. I like how it turned out." And it's the same thing with programming, going from just a bunch of lines of code to a finished product that people can enjoy all over the world. It feels really nice. One of my favorite apps that I've developed is a slide puzzle. You can play individually, and sure, that's fun, but then you can challenge your friends to see who completes a puzzle the fastest. And it even has built-in voice chat, so you can talk to someone who's playing the puzzle with you, even if they're
Hi, my name is Tanish and I am 18.5 years old.
He's thirsty for learning. He wants to embrace the universe.
What kind of things do you do for fun?
I like to program.
Tanish retains difficult concepts better than any other student that I've actually ever had.
I like particle physics, all the antimatter and the fate of the universe and the Big Bang Theory. I'd like to design a rocket that can go faster than the speed of light.
We finished chapter 20, but it's a very important chapter, so let's review that today. So anyone can tell me what are the main types of galaxies?
Elliptical.
Elliptical galaxies and?
Spiral.
And spiral. About 1 year ago, Tanish became my student in Astronomy 300, and he ended up the class being the student with the highest grade. Which ones are the most common ones in the early universe?
Irregular.
Irregular. What about today? What kind of galaxies do I find most often?
Dwarf elliptical.
Dwarf elliptical, right? How many people do you know at the age of 7 or 8 that can discuss the expansion of the universe? He is different in a positive way.
The most fun thing for him is learning. So sometimes when people ask, what do you do for your fun time? He says, I just learn. And then people just can't understand that.
Tanish was in my geology lecture and lab class at American River College.
Professor Sterling is actually the one who helped me get into college.
I've taken Tanish under my wing because he has such potential. His challenges are that he is at an intellect level here, but yet he's still a very kind and happy 8-year-old.
Forwards, up. You're doing pretty good, actually. My clapping distribute. Oh my God. She's my sister, Tiara. She's 6 years old. And that's basically it. I have two kittens, Lucky and Furry. Here's Lucky. His real name is Lucky Billy because Billy in Hindi means cat. I really like topographic maps and geological maps. Topographical maps meaning like maps that show the height and elevation. Yeah, that.
Well, she says he came out smart, right?
Around 2.5 kind of, he knew all his numbers from 1 to like 100. He just jumped like from kindergarten level to like 3rd grade level.
Through the school system, he had a lot of problems not being challenged.
I was bored because all these things there were really easy.
That's kind of where we ended up this year with going fully homeschooled.
Yeah.
What chapter are you now on?
6.
Chapter 6, what is that?
Periodic table.
Periodic table, that's something that you love, isn't it?
Homeschooling is much better than normal regular school. Yeah, that was arsenic.
That was arsenic?
Look, AS.
Oh, you were right then.
The role that his family plays is one of great support, and they go beyond to give him any opportunity they possibly can.
Hello, Dinesh. How are you? Hi. Let's have a look at you.
Dr. Bharti agreed to having Tanishq and Tiara shadow him. Both kids love animals, and I guess it's probably in the genes.
What is your guess? Like how many beats in a minute?
Probably like 60 or something like that.
It's more than that.
His family's just so receptive to anything that can help him, and clearly without their support, he wouldn't have the opportunities. But how much can you really entertain an 8-year-old who's in an undergraduate level of understanding?
Denise, are you taking any other classes here?
No.
No?
This is the only class.
He's been always saying, wish I can just be a full-time regular student in college. I said, what difference does that make? And he said, I can graduate early, then I can find a cure for this, So he wants to go. The first college that we applied to denied him, so we'll see now. We have a few more options.
Right. There's all these wonderful programs to help the hearing impaired, the vision impaired, the learning impaired, but there's no program for somebody like Tanishq.
It's a challenge. It's a lot of stress and a lot of both emotional and physical. I just don't want him to give up hope.
Maybe we could just have a blog post on the website just saying our 2 experiments that we might be doing in the future.
Oh, yeah.
It's never boring talking with any college student.
So I'll give you leadership then.
Tanishq? Yeah, he's a happy child. But he's once in a while does say, I wish I had friends, so I wish I had more friends.
With my friends from kid classes, you get to play with them and that kind of socialization. And this, it's more like talking, and I guess I kind of miss having friends, I guess. I feel it's a good age to sing because as I get older, I'll become more like an alto and I will really like to be a soprano. So I'm gonna miss being a soprano.
All right, music and folders. Alex, dismiss people from chairs.
I like it. What's that? Who's that?
Somebody who's crazy, like if you ask them, can you help me on my homework?
Okay.
Now I'd like to introduce Tanishq. He's going to show us about Zooniverse.org.
Thank you for the introduction. So Zooniverse is an online science citizen project. We try to find exoplanets, and exoplanets are planets that orbit other stars.
If he's good enough in physics, truly a genius one day, and finds a way to travel across the stars. That's my selfish wish for Tanishq, right? I think he should be free to find his way.
It's like
The lesson that we all can learn from Tanishq is look beyond the rules of the game, so to speak, and allow people to perform and excel.
People look at him differently, treat him differently.
We hear about all these stories with the gifted kids as they grow to be adults. They have a lot of emotional problems and things like that.
Like, for example, depression.
Those are the kinds of things we worry about.
Yeah,
and hope he has a well-adjusted life.
He can choose anything he likes, but as long as that keeps him happy.
I really want to be like scientist or a president of the United States. I'll make the United States more healthy for us and more efficient. Final thoughts, as Buzz Lightyear says, to infinity and beyond. Let's explore.
Blades and cut it back. I shouldn't have to rhyme these words in the rhythm for you don't know what's a rap. You said you was king, you lied through your teeth. For that, curse your feelings. Instead of getting crowned and getting captain to the fans, I never let you down and get them back. I promise to never go back on that promise. In fact, let's be honest, the last we left CD was that. Perhaps I run the math sinks into the ground. Relax, I ain't going back to that now. All I'm trying to say is get back, kaboom, blab. Cause I ain't playing around. It's a game called Circle and I don't know how. I'm way too up to back down. But I think I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. Thought I had them mapped out, but I guess I didn't. These stupid black clouds that follows me around, but it's time to exercise these demons. These haters are doing jumping jacks now. Afraid to take a stance. Everybody, come take my hand. We'll walk this road together through the storm, whatever weather, cold or warm. Just when you know that you're not alone, holler if you feel like you've been down the same road. And I just can't keep living this way. So we're starting today. I'm breaking out of this cage. I'm standing up, I'ma face my demons. Manning up, I'ma hold my ground. I've had enough, I'm so fed up. Time to put my life back together right now. It was my decision to get clean. I did it for me. Admittedly, I probably did it subliminally for you, so I could come back a brand new me, help see me through. And don't even realize what you did. Believe me, I've been through the ringer, but they can too little to the peace fingers. I think I got a tear in my eye. I feel like the king of my world. Haters can make like bees with no stingers and drop dead. No more beef flingers, no more drama from now on. I promise to focus solely on handling my responsibilities as a brother. So style me, swear to always treat this boo like my brother and raise it. You couldn't let this say a shingle on it, cause the way I feel, I'm strong enough to go to the gym or the fitness club and go lift 100 pounds of earth, cause I'm raising the bar and shoot for the moon. I'm too busy gazing at stars.